You won't believe what happened to my son. One moment he was just walking home from his evening shift at the grocery store, and the next, a black SUV pulled up beside him. Two men in dark uniforms jumped out, patches on their sleeves reading, HOA Police. Before I go on, drop a comment with your country. Let's see how far this story reaches. My boy Michael is only 14. Quiet, shy, never one to stir up trouble. But that didn't matter to them. One of the men flashed a cheap tin badge, the type you could buy online. "Neighborhood ordinance?" he barked. "No minors outside alone after dark." "You're coming with us," Michael stammered. "I'm just walking home." "I live right here." "Save it," the second one snapped. "We enforce the rules. You're detained." Before Michael could respond, they twisted his arms and shoved him toward the SUV. His phone slipped from his pocket onto the pavement, and thinking. Quickly, he kicked it under a bush. That one small move would uncover everything. Back home, I was setting the dinner table, wondering why he was late. Michael always texted if something delayed him. After 30 minutes, I opened our locator. At hand, my stomach dropped. Was pinging at an abandoned strip mall, far from his route. I called him straight to voicemail. Twice, 3 times. Nothing. My chest tightened. Something was terribly wrong. I grabbed my keys and drove out, phoning my deputy on the way. I spotted the SUV near the strip mall, black and unmarked. I whispered the plate number for him to run. Seconds later, he called back, "That's not law enforcement. Private registration. Do you want backup?" "Not yet," I muttered, jaw locked. "Not until Michael is safe." I hid behind a dumpster and watched. The men dragged Michael into a decaying office. Building, he stumbled, terrified but didn't fight. Even from a distance, I saw the fear in his small frame. These weren't officers, they were fakes. And they had kidnapped my 14-year-old son. They thought he was just a kid, and me, just another parent. What they didn't know I was the district attorney, and justice was about to crash down on them. My heart pounded, but my head stayed clear. Years in court had taught me to control fear, but this wasn't a file. This was my son. I hit record on my phone and zoomed in through the cracked windows. Michael sat tied to a folding chair with zip ties, treated like a criminal. My pulse thundered. He was only 14. The taller man paced, shouting fake charges. Violation of neighborhood ordinance. Your parents will pay $500 if you want to go home. His stomach turned extortion. The other leaned back, scrolling his phone. And if mommy and daddy don't pay, we call child services. He smirked. My blood boiled. I dialed my deputy again. It's a kidnapping. 2 men, fake uniforms, private SUV. My son restrained. I'm moving in. His reply was immediate. We're rolling. 4 minutes. Don't go alone. But I couldn't wait. I stepped out, heels crunching, gravel badge in hand. The real badge. I kicked open the door. District Attorney Monroe. My voice shook the walls. Unhand that child now. Both men froze. Their smugness vanished. You can't just... The tall one began. Actually, I can. I cut. You violated 18 U.S. Code 912, impersonating an officer. And California Penal Code 207, kidnapping. That's life in prison. Want me to continue? The second man muttered. She's bluffing. I stepped closer. Try me. I don't bluff. You just abducted the DA's son. Right then, red and blue lights strobed through the boards. Sirens wailed. The cavalry had arrived. Michael's eyes widened with relief. It's over, I said flatly. Officers stormed inside, weapons raised, hands where we can see them. The fakes stiffened. Their power evaporated. I rushed to Michael, breaking the cheap zip ties. He threw his arms around me, shaking but safe. One of the men tried to sputter. Excuses, we were just enforcing HOA rules. Quiet, I snapped. Under 18 U.S. Code 1201, seizing a minor is kidnapping. You're finished. Officers cuffed them both. Straightening my blazer, I pointed. Charged them under 18 U.S. Code 912 for impersonating officers. Penal Code 207 for kidnapping. Penal Code 518 for extortion, Penal Code 273A for child endangerment. Every statute applies and I'll see these charges stick. The room was silent except for Michael's shaky breath. The fake patches peeled from their sleeves like lies crumbling. One pleaded, "We thought this was legal." I stepped forward, voice low. "Authority isn't bought online. Authority is the law. And the law will bear you." Michael squeezed my hand as we stepped into the cool night. Patrol lights flashed red and blue across his face. He whispered, "Mom, I knew you'd come." I kissed his head, always. Officers loaded the men into cruisers. No HOA, no fake badge could shield them now. As I guided Michael into my car, I let the weight settle. This wasn't just about him anymore, it was about a message. Fake power doesn't bend the law breaks it. Because in my county, when you come after a child, especially mine, justice doesn't wait for court, begins the moment I walk through the door.